sides to her and a crown on her head. Royalty is what she goes by. Is she gonna rap? Is she gonna sing? An amazing double threat in our industry who's had it in a very unusual way. Princess Natasha Chansa has a lockhold on us, the bass ground, us, the up and coming, us, the new wave. And today she joins me on the Upward Squad. Zimbabwe, Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, as well as Zambia. Welcome, PNC.
Thank you very much. Thanks
How you doing?
I'm dope. I'm stoked to be here.
I'm excited that you're here because if managers is watching on the other side, I've been calling.
No, trust me, I've been getting the
info.
Yeah.
You've had a very unique career in general, but 2022 into 2023 has been quite different for you.
Yes, it has.
You gave us the EP, you know, a little over last year.
Yeah.
This was the two sides of you. You know, you love your art form in singing, which I appreciate, you know, you for the most, but your rapping is also very unique.
Yeah.
You've managed to share stages with the legends and also have branded yourself in a very unique way. But one particular highlight for me, at least, and for everybody who was part of that project, was Leaders of the New School, which happened last year with Clear Ice Cream as her first, you know, release with Def Jam. How did that come to be? Okay,
so Cleo and I previously had worked together on previous songs, which were my songs, right?
Yeah.
So it was organic. It was already established relationship. You know, like when you have a big sister in the industry. So by the time Leaders of the New Wave idea was being conceptualized, she had already told me and said, there's no way that I'm going to have a Leaders of the New School without you on the project, you know. So it was just an amazing experience to be a part of. We got into studio, we vibed as usual, just did our thing.
Yeah. I want to ask, I usually ask a lot of the people who were on that project, did you know it was a Def Jam project?
No, I had no idea it was a Def Jam project.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think it happened, we started working on the project before she was signed, and then when I saw it, I hoped now that it was going to be published in like A&R and everything by Def Jam.
That's amazing. What would you consider or call the new school? Because we know you, we see you, but what's your take on the new school? Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys thinking about with music?
It's the thing about new school is there's no one size fits all, because we've had new school since the 80s.
Yeah.
Every century has the new school, the new wave sound. So I feel like my understanding of, because I can't speak for everybody, you know, they're like, why would you say that? But my understanding of new school would be a very new culture, something that's of itself. It's never been done before. So I like to give an example of myself because it's more practical. You know, I call myself new wave because I fit into a box where you've never seen a musician like me before. I'm the first to do what I'm doing. And hopefully that inspires other people to kind of do what they want to do unapologetically. Yeah. So new wave is about that, unapologetic. I myself, this is my influence, but this is me, and this is what I'm pushing, this is what I stand for, type thing.
Let's speak about that exactly. And to everybody who's watching in, there's a number on the screen. I'm already hearing of our Facebook commenters commenting, so be sure to comment on Facebook. The number is on the screen, enables you to call to Natasha and speak to her right now. So be sure to call in. I want to speak about that unique sound. With you, you've done a very unique way of doing things, and I've said this so many times, but one of the things that stands out for me is like everybody aims to be on the big stage and, you know, fill up a stadium. Like, it's become a trend now.
It should be.
It should be. It should because that's what events are supposed to be. I was actually speaking to somebody, but we'll talk about that on the side. Like, everywhere you go, Burna Boy is doing things in stadia. People are doing shows in stadia, which it should happen. You decide to say, you know what, no, I'm going to go to a school. And that's where I'm going to do my performance. I'll carry my dancers. We're going to have a fun time with the kids. Why that? And how did that come to be?
I feel like I'm a firm believer in living through the phases and earning stripes. So a lot of what our big celebrity friends out there don't show is the struggle and the staircase to where they're at now. Yes, we're going to look at Burna Boy filling O2 and stadiums and big festivals, but he also had a grassroots. And that's one thing I don't want to ignore, and I need that documented, because there's someone out there who's looking at me and saying, I also want to be like Natasha. But I'm not going to lie to you and say, yeah, from the jump, we just did Mossy Day of Thunder, we did South Africa, we did Namibia, we did... That's part of the project, that's the frosting on the cake. But the grassroots is the kids, you know, the kids appreciating you, listening to you, vibing to you. They should not be forgotten, you know what I mean? And I feel like most times they are, but our approach with it is there's kids there who need mentors, who need to know that there's Zambian music. We need to change the face of what a musician should be or is. You know, when a child goes to a parent and says, Mom, I want to be a musician when I grow up, I would very much love to be the poster girl for that, because they're going to say, hey, there's this musician that did tremendously well, and my child loves her, you know, so it shouldn't be a thing of, you might not make it, you know. That's the notion, it needs to change. Yeah, and it starts from the kids.
It starts with the grassroots. And now we were speaking to Dismo last week, and he's done with J Cash, last week, and he's done the same exact thing. Like J Cash won't be the most trending artist on Facebook, but on the ground, like people are jamming to J Cash, which is the same case for you. That brings us into paving a way for your music on your terms, with your rules, and doing it your way. You've been doing this your way with Walia and Z Art Records for since the beginning, I believe. I mean, people might have seen you with Empower Africa, but you guys have been on a plan since. What would you say was the hardest decision to make along the journey? But before we do get that, we have somebody from Chilanga calling us. Hi, how are you?
Hello. How are you?
Where are you calling us from exactly?
Yes, I'm calling you from Chilanga.
All right. Princess Natasha Chansa is in the studio. Richard, go ahead, talk to her.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good, my G. How are you?
I'm all right.
I didn't get your name.
My name is Richard.
Hey, Richard. Can I call you Ricardo?
Richard, go ahead, talk
for
to
the
her.
album, when is it dropping?
Pardon?
I'm waiting for the new EP. When is it dropping?
The new EP is coming soon, don't worry. It's coming. And when it comes, you just be like, yo, I understand why it took the time.
Oh, we will have international features.
Of course. It's international all the way.
Any hint?
Thank you for calling,
Thank you so much, Ricardo.
All right.
Richard wants to get my job because he's asked my question. So, Natasha, when is the EP coming?
I can't say. I can't say. I've learned the hard way not to put dates because, you know, we allow for time to do its thing. Yeah, we could want something done a certain way, but allow for contingencies and perfection. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Before Ricardo called in, I was speaking about paving a way, and I asked the question, what was the hardest decision, or what has been the hardest decision, or something that you constantly have to make a decision over through your journey into music?
I was told, I think 2 days ago by my producer, he says, the problem we have with music is we treat it like a democracy. Democracy is for the people, by the people, right? But music is for the people, by the artist. So one thing I kind of learned to navigate in my early stages of my career, I'm still lucky in my early stages, but is understanding that I'll have to constantly choose me, even if it's the hardest thing to do, you know? There's accountability, you know, there's failing, there's winning. You know, there's the good and the bad, but constantly choosing myself and knowing what I want and what I want to share with the people and hope that they can relate and feel good about themselves after listening to me is what's helped me kind of find my path.
We have Dixon on the line. Hi, Dixon. How are you? Hello, Dixon. How are you?
Man's like Dickie.
Can you hear us, Dixon?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah, Natasha is in studio today. Talk to her.
The weather's just okay. Natasha looking cutie.
Thank you very much. I wish I could see you as well.
Also me,
Send me a picture.
Okay, I'll send.
You should post it on my comments after the Diamond TV post, yeah? I need to know. I need to know how you're looking right now so we can, you know, link up somewhere.
Okay.
Do you have a question, Dixon, or you just wanted to say hi?
Are we expecting another song for international featuring what?
Yeah, we're definitely expecting another song. Just 2 days ago, I was in studio with Nutty O. He's from Zimbabwe. He's an amazing, amazing musician. We got to vibe and do the most. So I can't wait to share that with you.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you, Dixon, for calling.
Thank you.
Bye.
You can also be like Dixon and speak to Princess Natasha Chansa. There's a number on the screen, call in. And if you can't get through to us via phone call, our Facebook is streaming live. So on the Diamond TV page, Diamond TV Zambia, look for the live and comment there and we'll be able to give you a shout out. People love your music.
I'm glad they do.
And I love your music as well.
Thank you.
You came in at a time when we needed a breath of fresh air in our music. There was a time when, of course, Zone Fam led the resurgence of, you know, pop culture, rap, but in their own way. Like they were doing it in their own way, and then they went down. And we somewhat lost hope. Was that so much pressure to bring up your sound in a place where people will say, me, I don't listen to Zambian music, or me, I don't listen to Zambian music. You know, there's two polar Zambians out there. So was it hard for you to break into that, you know, market? Before we do that, somebody from Dola is calling us. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Davis, Natasha is in studio today. Talk to her.
Hey, Davis.
Hey.
Avene kopala.
Achani.
Achani hapo.
Do you have a question for her?
Yeah, I do.
Talk to me, Davis.
Music. We're waiting for TNT music. When are we releasing music?
Music is coming in 3 weeks. Trust me, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Even
Right.
less than 3 weeks. I got you.
Otherwise, I just could say hi.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Ish,
And
I'm so happy
support,
today,
you know,
Monday.
#1 fan.
Thank you so much, Davis. I appreciate you.
All right.
That's amazing. Remember, you can keep on calling. There's a number on the screen. But Natasha needs to answer my questions because the people
Just
really...
repeat the question
Let me
for me because it's, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Breaking into the music scene, there's two sides. There's people who want to listen to Zambian music, our Kalindula, our original sound, and there's people that say, I don't want to listen to Zambian music. You came in with a different sound, and we would even call it underground or alternative. Was it hard for you to find your place in the market? Were you scared venturing into the music business?
I'm still finding my place in the market. And you know, the thing about that is it's every day. You know, I've seen even people that I look up to always constantly finding themselves. And I think it's necessary because you don't want to lose touch from your source, you know. So there's obviously a stereotype around what Zambian music should sound like. So for a musician like me to come up and say, I'm a Zambian musician, some people would be in denial and even say, as we only listen to this type of Zambian music. But it's okay for people to have a pick. That's what people need to understand. You, as a listener, are at liberty to choose what do you want to listen to. If you don't like me, if you don't vibe with what I do, it's very much okay, because that's what an industry demands. An industry demands that there's diversity and each and every person is catered for. So if I'm not appealing to you, by all means find someone who makes you happy. And we can all live in peace without saying, you need to change your sound, you know, because there's someone who appreciates what I do at the end of the day, you know. So I had to find myself. And I had to accept that there's people that will be against it and for it. And I found the people that are for it, and I appreciate them each and every other day.
You said you don't have it figured out, but it sounds like it sounds like it's right there. Like you know what you're doing. The first half of the year is over. This is actually our first show in June, eh? And one big thing happened. Sampa the Great gave us As Above, So Below last year. She gave us the event last year as well, I think November. And then just weeks ago, we heard a deluxe. And to my surprise, she just, she said, it's royalty.
It's
and
royalty.
Then, that run, by the way,
Do it for me. Do it for me.
I can't sing.
I think you can. Are you one of those shower singers?
I think I sing, but on a different stage, you know? And then... But this is not about me.
Yeah.
You are on it. You're not on the album, but you're on the deluxe. How did it... I know she's a fan of you. I think she's spoken about you. Even when on the table, she spoke about you. But she's not the first one to speak about you. Like, a lot of these artists say, no, there's Princess Natasha Chansa, who's, you know... How did... As a Pastor Below Deluxe happen?
Ish, I was just sleeping and then she just DM'd me and she was like, hey, you want to get into the booth? I'm like, yeah, sure, like whatever. I wish that's how it happened. I'm joking.
Okay, I was going to be like, hey, who else is in the DMs?
Yeah, no, I've been a fan of Sampa for as far as I can remember. And to have her appreciate what I do was just crazy, you know? So there was she followed me on Instagram because I already followed her. So she followed me back and I'm like, yo, like it's happening, and she's coming to Zambia and she's doing whatever, and I'm like, yo, it's amazing to see someone go before you doing something different, and they're also seeing that you're doing something different, you know, because that's definitely why they would say, hey, I think you have something special, you know what I mean? So we had been speaking on Instagram, just like chats, bro. Like, I was just casually chatting with Sampa the Great. Like, she's asking me, like, what are you into? And I'm like, hey, I'm into K-pop, but I'm also into, like, Afro and drill. And she's like, oh, cool, like, I'm also into this. So I had no idea why, you know, that conversation was happening. And then the show happened, and we got called and said, hey, Sampa wants you to open. And I'm like, yo, we have to. There's no way we're saying no to this. Yeah. And the show happening and then the deluxe happening was just like, hey, Sampa wants you on the deluxe. I'm like, again, we have to go. So we got into studio. And actually what was funny was on her show, I had the idea. I'm like, why don't I make a rendition of Mask On that I could probably slip into her, like, her musical director's DMs and say, hey, I had this idea, so maybe when she's performing, but then I'm like, no, they obviously do rehearsal, and that would be too much to ask. And then we get called for the deluxe album, and that's the song that they picked that I should be on. So it's funny how life works, you know? And we got into studio. I wrote for my part, obviously. We rehearsed for a day, recorded it the next day, and it was just...
I want to hear that run. I want to hear that. I want to hear that run, because
you can't catch me off guard like this. You know, I haven't eaten today, so my vocals are just
Because Sampa just said it's royalty. You were like, I know there's people calling you, but I want to put in my last question, and then we'll open up to our caller. Okay. You were in SA last week.
Yes.
You left me.
Next time we're going.
Next time we're going together.
I hope your passport's ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go today.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Are we taking off our mics now?
We're going. But out of all of that, it was about music, and I saw clips from it. You even went ahead to perform for Trace, you know, on their TikTok and whatever. But one big takeaway for me was when El Mukuka was speaking of Zambian music, and he said, in Zambia, Zambian music is a sound, but to the world, Zambian music is music made from Zambia. So whether you're doing classical, whether you're doing drill, whether it's rock, if you're doing those electronic magnetic, whether it's opera, as long as you're Zambian,
it's Zambian
music. What was your highlight or takeaway from the conference? But before that, we have somebody calling us from John Lane. Hey, how are you?
Hello, Princess Natasha. How are you?
Hey, my G, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. What's
Simon,
your name?
You can't see me in a Sinilico.
You're not important right now.
Like, I had a question. I just wanted to ask you, like, are we expecting any, like, can you rap like in Nyanja, like the AP which is about to drop, like in 3 weeks, which we're waiting?
I can rap in Nyanja. You see, the thing is, I'm just not fluent in it. So I've been practicing. So you have to expect a full Nyanja song on my EP.
Actually, you don't need to. You just have to do that.
Yeah, you're the one who knows. You're the one who knows.
You carry those bars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Simon.
Yeah.
I love his energy.
Simon is such a vibe. Thank you, Simon, for calling us. We were talking about the conference you attended last week. And thank you so much to our callers. I need to acknowledge you guys are amazing. To the
They
people
are.
commenting, thank you so much. But time is running. What was your biggest takeaway from the conference?
My biggest takeaway, like you said, Zambian music is Zambian because by virtue of me coming from Zambia, I'm making Zambian music. Whether it's not the typical Zambian sound. My name is as Zambian as it gets. I have nothing to prove.
No English
My
name.
name is Natasha Chansa. Mwana Muvemba. Wakwakaputa. And you want to say, is she even Zambian?
Zambian.
You know? So, like I said, but one thing that we do forget is music is a versatile language. And it crosses borders. Whether I'm from Zambia, whether I'm from Ghana, whether I'm from Nigeria. Someone from Switzerland is going to hear a song and they won't care where the artist is from because the song is just going to make them feel good. So that's what we should aim to do. We should aim to understand that music has no borders. I mean, I'm Christian. I believe in a God that doesn't know borders. So I know that my music doesn't have borders either. Someone from Zambia is going to enjoy the same song as much as someone from South Africa, as much as someone from Ireland, as much as someone from Iceland is going to enjoy the song because music has no borders. It's a language that anybody can understand. So that's what I took from the conference. Also that we have a lot of work to do as an industry. We have a lot of work to do, but it's baby steps.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're living through the phases and earning stripes.
I hope we get to have another time to conversate and
Same.
really
There's
talk
so
about.
much to
There's
talk
so
about.
much to uncover. But I'm not even going to ask you when's the next, because the people have already asked. Thank you to the people, because we should have said soon, but at least it's given us 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
I really do sign outs, but PNC camera day. Talk to your people.
How do you do that thing? Is it like, hey, what's up? You know the vibes is you go PNC, and where the vibes is good is where we at. That's why I'm here today. So make sure to catch the next episodes because it's going to be vibes on vibes.